Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Construction. I'm your host, Emmett White. Thank you for taking the time out to tune into us this evening. Tonight, we have a great lineup as usual. Uh, we're going to be exploring that avenue of fix it uppers. All right, and some of the avenues you can take before making a journey. I also have some tips. Please feel free at the end of the show or later on down. I could also WhatsApp them, email to you those tips. So, as my special guest, I have a young man from Scotiabank. He'll be sharing some information on, some of the things, some of the steps you can take before embarking on that journey. So we're gonna take a break and then come back. But before we do that, today's show is brought to you by Stone Oak Home Expo, which will take place Saturday 30th in Nassau. Please go out. This is one of this is a major expo. You would have, be looking for fix-it-uppers, person contractors who could assist you with that. They would be there, plumbing, electrical, furniture stores, appliances, you name it. They would be there. That's the 30th of March next month. And we also have Abaco Self-Build, which will take place on the 2nd of March. Those of you who are registered, you're all secured. Those who have not registered, seats are limited. So I encourage you to, get your seats now. So we're going to be right back, and I'll introduce our special guest right after this break.
Due to the high cost of remodeling an existing home and building a new one, many clients are asking whether it's better to renovate their home or build a new house. Well, we have the solution for you. Attend Emmett White's Self-Build Homeowners Educational Seminar and learn how you can save from 25 to 45% off your new home construction or renovation costs. It's an event you don't want to miss. Follow our Facebook page at Emmett White 242 for updates on when the event will be held in Abaco, Freeport, Grand Bahama, Exuma, Eleuthera, and Nassau. Make plans to attend now so you can be informed on how to save thousands of dollars when remodeling or building your new dream home. Stone Oak Bahamas Developers and the Bahamas Public Service Union presents Homeowners and Builders Expo. This event is for first-time homeowners and those who are renovating. Come on out and meet banks, insurance companies, real estate agents, contractors, and more. It all goes down Saturday, March 30th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the BPSU Hall, East Street South. There'll be lots of giveaways and discounts the entire day. For more information, call or WhatsApp 815-8818. Admission is free. Don't miss it.
Are you planning on building or remodeling your home, but afraid of being ripped off, overcharged, or receiving substandard workmanship? Then you don't want to miss the Emmett White First-Time Homeowner Educational Seminars. Don't become a victim. Attend the event, ask questions, get answers, and learn from one of the industry experts. Follow our Facebook page at Emmett White 242 for updates on when the event will be held in Abaco, Freeport, Grand Bahama, Exuma, Eleuthera, and Nassau.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again for tuning in to Let's Talk Construction. I'm your host, Emmett White. Once again, we have a very special guest this evening who's going to tune in with us shortly from Scotiabank, Mr. Sanchez Mackey. He'll come in right now. Sanchez, good afternoon. How are you, sir? Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Mr. White. I'm doing great. It's fantastic. It's much pleasure being here.
That's great. That's great. It's a joy to have you in the studio this evening. Thank you for taking the time out to come in. If you don't mind, you could introduce yourself to the guests.
Great. So good night. My name is Sanchez Mackey. I'm currently employed at Scotiabank, and I'm a home finance specialist. So essentially what I do, I specialize in financing, giving out loans for real estate, most real estate projects on all of the islands of the Bahamas. So that's for vacant lots, for construction processes, for duplexes, just a purchase turnkey condos, so anything to do with real estate, I really look into it and finance for people throughout the entire Bahamas.
That's great. That's great. So, um, ladies and gentlemen, one of the reasons why we on today is, a lot of persons are embarking on purchasing fix it uppers, and I got a lot of questions. Persons wanted to find out, hey, what are some of the process? Um, can they get a loan for it? Um, should they uh, meet directly, not meet or deal directly with clients? But I would speak on this. Wouldn't ask Sanchez to speak on this. Is I suggest not, dealing directly with the mortgage company, rather than putting yourself in a situation if you're dealing directly with a person, with the individual, with the seller, and something go wrong. I strongly suggest that you take it, directly with the take it up directly with the mortgage company. Um, the other aspect of it, before we ask Sanchez to speak on anything, is you want to also be looking at areas of inspection. All right, before you buy, some of the things you should be looking out for. And I've compiled a list. Like I said, you could always reach out to me via WhatsApp, or and like some of you would normally do, WhatsApp, and I would be happy to send a list that you could use to check off and follow through. One of them is, you want. It depends on the structure. You might want to engage a engineer. Okay. Sometimes these homes, can have some structural issues, and of course, you're going to purchase this property. Uh, it could cost you more than, in some cases, more than building a new home. Based on the extent of the repairs. So that's something you want to consider, is involving an engineer. In most cases, you might see some cracks. In your opinion, it might not be nothing serious, but have an engineer come in and look at it. He can advise you better, in terms of that. Then another avenue you want to explore inspection is your plumbing. Okay, a fixer upper, if it has been sitting there for a while, you can have especially if it wasn't secured, doors are not secured, windows are not secured. Some there's vacants where persons were living in there. You could have a situation where uh, some debris and all that stuff may be down inside the plumbing, all right, in the drain line. So there again, you're purchasing this getting involved into this agreement, but you don't know exactly. You're going blinded. You don't know exactly what's all there. All right. There again, you want to engage a plumber. That will be good. So it's not. It's not just a. Some persons it might not be the case. All right. Some person it'll be walk in the park. They just walking in home, and they don't have that problem. So that's a chance that you would take. But I would encourage you, if you're going to take that route, yes, get a plumber. All right. Some of them have some device that they could go and investigate, go straight into the sewer lines and see exactly if they're clear. It might cost you a couple of dollars at that time. But think of it, that you already purchased this home, already get your mortgage, all right, and now you discovered that, who knows, the fellas that might have been wild and just throw some tin set down there. So if they throw tin set down there along with and you already have moisture in water, or just the moisture itself, that's a blockage. All right. So it takes you to another level. Now you have to cut your floors. You have to investigate to find out where this blockage is. That's money now you have to find if you didn't make that allowance in your mortgage. All right. So there again, that's one aspect that you wanna take into consideration. Then electrical, all right. You want to also have an electrician look into it who knows the system need to be upgraded, all right. So that's another avenue where they might have some. In most cases, we still have a lot of buildings which still have the old fuses, all right. And lo and behold, when you go to check it out, your old system probably have to upgrade. Okay, there again, that's a lump sum which you have to come out, and that could cost you, I mean, give and take, but $10,000, $15,000. All right, you want to change the entire panel and all that stuff. So I'm going to just stop right there for now. We only have a short show. Let me bring allow Sanchez to get in. All right, he's the man of the hour, but I just thought I would plug that in. All right, and so to give you something to think about. All right, go from there. So Mackey, can a person get a
Yes.
loan for fix it up?
For yes, so it depends. So a loan for fix up, but yes, it's possible, but it's more so based on the risk appetite of your financer, right? Some banks not like to take on just so incomplete projects. So there has to be some contingencies normally to bring it up to standard. So some banks may consider assisting with providing some additional financing unsecured on the side, along with the mortgage loan to guarantee that the home will eventually over time be up to par. Or some banks will, ask you, hey, maybe you have some cash reserves that you're willing to inject to bring this project up to par. So we'll be more enticed to, finance it for you. So of course, banks look at it, they judge their risk appetite and they make their decision based on the location of the project, how bad of a state it's in, or what's required to really bring it up to par, or depending on where it's at, in its stage, meaning it may be to quite a bit of a lower end, fairly dilapidated. They may say, hey, maybe we can look at the client and see if we can approach this as a construction loan, which of course has a slightly different process than just a purchase, right?
Uh, okay. Another question while you're on that. Would they be allowed to manage their funds, or should they, they have the person somebody do it on their own, or they must have engaged a contractor?
So of course, in my experience, we try to encourage having the clients manage their own funds just to keep the project as genuine as possible, because of course they're responsible for the repayment. Now, of
Okay.
course, we assist with management, for lack of a better term, with regards to, we may write checks directly to a particular vendor or to a particular contractor on behalf of the client, but it's normally at their own discretion. We don't tend to deal directly with the contractors because, of course, we try to leave the customers up to make their own decisions with their project, right? Because this is their home. We just
Right.
assist them with overseeing it to make sure it's a safe and doable process. You know what I mean?
Okay. Interesting. All right. So if they get a loan,
Yeah.
all right, for the fix it up, um, do you have an inspection process or to see how things going? Is the bank involved to that point?
Most
Is that
definitely
progressive
so.
doing?
Yeah, most definitely. So, with regards to a fixer upper, like I said earlier, it really depends on the stage of the project, right? So it might be a
Okay.
home that's, it's structurally sound. It just might need, some fresh windows, fresh door, some light repairs, and it may could be a purchase. We may just ask for just an appraisal to let us know, okay, how much do we need to bring us up to a particular level? And,
Uh-huh.
and and if it's structurally sound and it doesn't seem like it's a high risk, it may just need an appraisal in most cases. Of course, an appraisal, a land surveyor for the lot, the dimensions, what have you. But
Okay.
normally an appraisal, we may ask on discretion, for additional documentation around the stability of the project. But for the most
Mhm.
part, if it's structurally sound, for the most part, of course, it's a sort of a spectrum, right? We gotta do a risk assessment. Every project is different with a fixer upper, right? But
Okay.
if it's more so on the lower end where they really need some digging in, some roof repairs, some foundation adjustments and what have you, of course
Uh-huh.
that's definitely typically known as a construction, right? So in those
Okay.
cases, in my experience, we of course we ask for an appraisal to get the value as is, right? So we'll know, okay, what's it looking at right now. Then of course we ask for a quantity surveyor's report.
Okay.
um, so, and what that is essentially a qualified professional who looks at the project, who works with the contractor and the various electricians, plumber, what have you, and assesses the market rate of the material and says, okay, based on what your plans and your approved plans are, and
Uh-huh.
based on what you're speaking with your contractor and your various workers, this is what we professionally say, hey, this is what this project is going to cost, and this is an estimated value at the end of the project. And they tend to have the stages broken down. Stage one may be foundation, etc. Stage two, bell cost. Of course, it varies with the size of the project and which surveyor does it, because they all have their own special method. But for the most part, it's a professional who gives a backup to the contractor to say, hey, it acts as the bank's sure man, right?
Right.
Right, to make sure that the project is going as planned. And of course, we work with the quantity surveyors, the authorizers, to let us know when the stage is completed, right? So we don't want to overpay or underpay the contractors, right? So we work
Right.
with them
Right. Right.
to do inspection to say, okay, the foundation is good, we're good to move on to the walls and the bell cost, because we don't want to start the work on the bell cost if we're not satisfied with the foundation, and so on and so forth.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's normally the difference right there.
All right. Okay. That's some good information. I greatly appreciate that. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to get back. When we come back, we're going to find out more about the documents, um, and how long
Okay.
the process takes. So we'll be right back after this break.
Due to the high cost of remodeling an existing home and building a new one, many clients are asking whether it's better to renovate their home or build a new house. Well, we have the solution for you. Attend Emmett White's Self-Build Homeowners Educational Seminar and learn how you can save from 25 to 45% off your new home construction or renovation costs. It's an event you don't want to miss. Follow our Facebook page at Emmett White 242 for updates on when the event will be held in Abaco, Freeport, Grand Bahama, Exuma, Eleuthera, and Nassau. Make plans to attend now so you can be informed on how to save thousands of dollars when remodeling or building your new dream home. Stone Oak Bahamas Developers and the Bahamas Public Service Union presents Homeowners and Builders Expo. This event is for first-time homeowners and those who are renovating. Come on out and meet banks, insurance companies, real estate agents, contractors, and more. It all goes down Saturday, March 30th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the BPSU Hall, East Street South. There'll be lots of giveaways and discounts the entire day. For more information, call or WhatsApp 815-8818. Admission is free. Don't miss it.
Are you planning on building or remodeling your home, but afraid of being ripped off, overcharged, or receiving substandard workmanship? Then you don't want to miss the Emmett White First-Time Homeowner Educational Seminars. Don't become a victim. Attend the event, ask questions, get answers, and learn from one of the industry experts. Follow our Facebook page at Emmett White 242 for updates on when the event will be held in Abaco, Freeport, Grand Bahama, Exuma, Eleuthera, and Nassau.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Construction. I'm your host, Emmett White. This evening, we have Sanchez Mackey from Scotiabank assisting me with some questions as we bring them to you. We left off. So, Sanchez, what are some of the documents with persons who are interested in getting to fix it up or getting a loan, really focusing on fix it up? Or are they the same as getting a loan? The documents, what we have to bring.
Generally, yes, for the early stages, right? So first and foremost, I want to advise to normally confirm with your financial institution of choice, because of course, each one of them have their different risk appetites and policies and procedures. So of course, I always advise clients to go to the bank first, go to the corporation first, and to see, hey, what are their requirements,
Okay.
right? Because I don't want you to go ahead and get documentation and go ahead and pay for go into some expenses for documentation that may not be compatible with your bank of choice. And then they're still going to ask you to go ahead and invest in other documentation. It may seem like a financial burden, So always go to the bank of choice first, speak with an
Absolutely.
officer, speak with a professional, and see, hey, what are their requirements, and then go from there. But with that being said, in general, both a purchase and for a fix up and a construction, in both cases, the financial institution would want to know, would assess your credit character, right? And there are a few things we look for when doing that. Of course, we look at your employment and income capacity, right? Of course, how much coming in, how much going out. So we'll be able to assess, can you afford this loan that you're requesting, right? And of course,
Mhm.
with your income, we take into consideration your current obligations and your proposed obligations, right? It's a thing banks normally use called debt service ratio. It's essentially, in a nutshell, how much is coming in versus how much is going out. So,
Okay.
and and because banks are only legally allowed to use a percentage of your income for debt servicing purposes based on central bank laws. So, of course, we have to do that calculation and make sure we're always compliant and assess the client based on what their income calculation is. And with regards to verifying income, it really depends on your particular situation. Of course, for salaried persons, in some cases, you'd be able to get a job letter, pay slips, we'd be able to verify by looking at your account histories, the credits coming in month over month, week over week, etc. And
Uh-huh.
for my self-employed persons now, this is a big one, right?
Right.
Because they always like, the banks don't like us, and
Yeah, you
there are
hit
some
me now.
complications with getting credit with the self-employed client. So of course, in my experience, we love our self-employed clients. We work with them. We do business with them. We do offer credit. But of
Hmm.
course, it's we have to be compliant, and we have to be able to verify your income structure in a compliant manner. So if you're self-employed and you're operating and you're gaining income from a business, it has to be normally, at least in my experience, to a business account, right? We can't give you credit for business income if it's passing to your personal account, right? And
Right.
that
I
tends
don't
to be one
answer.
of the
Yeah.
major challenges. That tends to be
Hmm.
one of the major challenges with self-employed clients. But once we be
So,
able to verify, sorry, go ahead.
sorry. So, speak. Everyone speaks a pen right there. I'm the self-employed, like myself. Um, so, what would I have to bring in? All right.
Oh, sorry
As a
about that.
self-employed person, to in order to obtain a loan. All right. I have my business account.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what would I have to um, bring in to secure this loan?
Well, with self-employed persons, we treat them just like every other client. The major hurdle with self-employed clients is normally just being able to verify your income. We have to make sure you're operating a legal and operable business, right, with a valid business license, and of course, we'd have to be able to track your income and ensure you're operating within the bounds of the law. So once we're comfortable with that, different banks have different assessment measures on income when it comes down to self-employed.
Right.
And of course, it's on a case by case basis for the clients. But we need to see your business structure and your business income essentially, and based on that, most banks would be able to determine if you'd be able to qualify for a personal loan
Mhm.
using your business as your source of personal income.
So, in layman terms, would I have to bring in financials? You know, get from have an accountant uh, send in some documents to say, okay, well, this is some my financial structure, or
It's so for sure your financial structure, so we'll know the ownership, because of course we can't give you full credit for the business income if you only own 25%, right?
okay, right.
So we need to see your business structure, ensure the business is legal and operable. And now with regards to the income verification portion of it, it like I said, the different banks have different income structures. You may or may not need an account letter. I can't speak for everybody. For us, I've gotten some success with using a letter and without. We have parameters for both those angles. So
Hmm.
it really depends on the client and how their business is structured and what approach is best convenient for them, right?
Okay.
But other than that, we treat all our self-employed clients just like regular salary clients. We gotta verify your IDs, verify your credit history, your assets, liabilities, and we'd be able to make a decision based off. And of course, the asset to be mortgaged or built up, and of course, make a decision based off of that.
Okay. Okay. Very good. So, with me having all that, speaking myself, having all that in place, all right. How long would it take for this process? For the entire process to you say, okay, well, wait, um, we grant you this or we decline based on this or whatever. How long does it take?
So, okay, that's a bit of an unfair question, but I'll answer it anyway, right?
All right.
And the reason being is because it's so much nuances to the financing process. So it's the client being able to provide the right amount of documentation in an approachable time frame. Is the officer that you're working with to make sure they're efficient, and of course they'll be able to review and submit your request in a timely fashion. Then of course it's the actual review process itself. It varies from client to client based on the complexity of the deal. Then of course after assuming it's approved and everything goes through, if we have to do a mortgage document and do a title transfer, of course, we have to refer to the attorneys and legal professionals to facilitate that process for us, which that may vary based on the complexity of that particular, lot or real estate, or maybe even the efficiency or price structuring of
Mhm.
that attorney. And then, of course, we have to do a land surveyor's report almost for every title transfer to be sure of the actual parameters of the real estate. Of course, there may be some encroachment where it may hinder the process. We have to take into those under considerations. There may be some other outlying factors that we may have to consider. So,
Mhm.
in an ideal world, I've
Right.
gotten something started and done in less than a month. Right? I'm talking documents in
Well,
on the first, money in pocket on the 30th, and we're
Christian.
processing, we're financing. But I've had some applications with honestly took well over a year. And it's not
Wow.
that I'm not efficient, it's just the complexity in the process, and we gotta wait for the seller to want to do this, and we gotta wait for that to be done. And it's just it's based on what you're doing. It's so much nuances, so it's quite unfair to ask the time frame. It's really based on what you're doing, and
Okay.
it's some
I see where
efficiencies,
you are.
but to give you an answer, in most cases, assuming for a typical process, between 4 to 8 weeks is typically a fair time for me to take into consideration from start to finish.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you something I should have asked you prior to starting, right? In terms of you have to do it with a mortgage. What are the steps you would suggest that a homeowner? Just I come to, I'll use myself. I'm, on to build a home. Do I um, come in there with, I might not be qualified for. I have a 3-4 bedroom. Okay. What
Mm.
are the steps? Should I uh, go get these drawings done up, or just come to you for the loan, and try to get this loan sorted out? Does make any sense? I already have the drawings
Y-
for this 4 bedroom, and it's but $350,000. And you were telling me, say, hey, with white, you ain't qualified for that. But now I telling you, I'm saying, man, Mackey, if I have to go back to this architect, they could charge me with $5,000 if they adjust this house. What advice you is that something you could elaborate on?
So just to make sure I understand the questions, you're speaking from a concept of a client who already owns a lot and they already have the approved permit to construct and the approved plans for a particular structure. And then
Yes,
in an instance where they, come to the financial institution for assistance with regards to constructing the structure from scratch, I'm assuming.
yes.
The bank says, hey, listen, hey, yeah, I know this project costs $400,000, how much ever, but you're not qualified financially for that. What can be done in that scenario? Yes.
Yes, yes, uh-huh.
All right.
Uh,
So sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I should have asked. Um, should have asked. Should before approaching the bank, all
Mhm.
right? Do you think I'll ask your opinion of this? Do you think it would be wise for the homeowner for me to come to you before doing anything with the drawings to find out what I'm qualified for, or to just go and draw up get this nice, beautiful home done, and then come to you?
Well, in that scenario, if you're in a position where you're considering getting the drawings, we have to assume that you already own the lot.
Yes,
In some
yes, they're very
regard,
on a lot. Yes,
whether there's a loan against it or you just own it outright, you have ownership over the lot. Now,
yes.
to be fair, I mean, you can do that. That's not a bad approach. Like I always say, go to your financial institution first to see, what you're qualified for and what their lending parameters are. But even in an instance where you overestimate your pocket, and you go ahead and get a drawing that's a bit more than what you can afford. So what the banks can do, you can still work with your contractor
Mhm.
and find a way to see, hey, is it possible for us to still build a living structure because you're already approved for the entire full structure, but you may be able to do some minor amendments with your contractor to do a living structure that's a bit less expensive that you can always add on later, and then see
Right.
if you can finance it from that angle. Or,
Okay.
of course, other than that, of course, we need to just see, okay, how can we work on our income or lower our obligations to qualify for the structure? But
Mhm.
in my experience, we've been able to finance structures that's a bit smaller than the actual plant because the
Okay.
person was willing to work with their contractor and do something a bit more conservative, and with the provisions to be able to expand at a later date, whether it be by an additional loan or equity takeout, etc. But as long as what you're drawing is within the parameters of your approved plant, we
Uh-huh.
should have an issue.
Okay. Okay. That's just that's great. That's great to know. That's great to know. All right. Um, yeah, man. That's some good information.
Yes, sir.
So um, I'd like to. We're coming to the end of your series right now. I'd like to thank you for taking the time out to inform the consumers. I had a lot of persons, they from time to time they send me information. Hey, we like to know about this. Could you go on this topic? And I like to encourage listening audience. Please continue to do that. I'm not Mr. Know It All. I'm going to bring in the experts. All right. You asked me about mortgage even to thank you, Shani Boo. Yes, some persons and Miller, McKenzie, and Alan Gaudies. Yes, of the Freeport. Thank you all for tuning in. Um, so one of the other topic I'm gonna like to invite you on back on is I think they call it the rent to own. You know,
Mm,
uh, I would like to invite you back on the show sometime so we could address that. A lot of persons have been asking me about it. Can I ask? Yes, you can ask Mr. Mackey question. Uh, you have Mr. Dowell online is would like to ask you a question.
sure.
Yeah, we'll accept the question. I'll accept the question before you go. Please, you can send it through. Yeah, is a lot of I had some persons inbox me and they would like for us to touch a topic on rent to own. I had one lady, I want to call his name. She also reached out to me during the last week and said how she run into a situation. And I'm not asking you to comment on this right now. Like I said, this is a show for another time. But I just want to run it by you. That she ended up in a situation where she lost the funds.
Wow.
She
Wow.
was dealing directly with the homeowner or the seller. I would say I don't know if it's the homeowner or the seller. And now, she said it was like what 4 years, coming down to the last, and they're having a problem now. But that's the
Wow.
story for another day. I see Mr. Markey haven't come with his question yet, so I guess we could come back to that later. But listen, I just like to say thank you, Brother Markey, for taking the time out to
No
come onto the
problem,
show
man.
this evening. Look forward
Absolutely.
to seeing you back again. You brought great value, great informative information, and I want to hold on, Markey responding right now. Um, so Markey, right, how the bank. No, I don't want to bash any banks. No, Mr. Markey. No, I would pass on that question right now. Perhaps you could. I would. What I would do is, Mr. Markey. I'll ask. Sorry, no, Mr. Markey, Mr. Dowell. I would copy this information and send it directly to Mr. Markey. I don't want that. I want to bring that on air. And of course, with his permission, I'll uh, exchange his number and you can get it from there. All right. So, yes, Mr. Markey, thank you very much.
No problem.
Hope you enjoy and
Absolutely.
have a safe and wonderful evening. I look
Likewise,
forward to
man.
seeing you back in the house again.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So I'm going to continue later on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to continue on as we talk more about the some of the things you can be what's I would say I'm gonna be going over a little time, and you have a choice. Either I do a part two, but let me see if I can wrap this up. Some of the inspections. All right, looking at, I touched on the engineer inspections. All right, which is critical because you want to ensure that the structure is properly strong, sound. All right. In most cases, we have we do get our soil directly, and that's how it is, directly from the sea. We don't wash it out. So one of the common problems we have is the structure, the steel, corroding and all of that stuff. And that's a major situation you'll find in most homes that you're gonna purchase in terms of fix it uppers. So you want to see those rebars. And who knows, you might have to have a conversation with the seller and say, hey, listen here, man, after you get your structural report, say, hey, you're asking 80 or you're asking 280, whatever the cost is, this is after getting this information from my engineer. This is going to cost me a significant amount of money. All right. Same thing with the plumbing. Like I said, those drain pipes can be clogged. If they are clogged and you already invested, just say you already purchased a home for about $200,000 or $80,000, you're now going to invest probably, I would say, between $10,000 to $20,000 labor and material. Now you have the plumber go in there to try and find out where this blockage is. In some cases, you might find out that, hey, look, you will have to excavate the entire floor to locate where this blockage is. And if that's the case, that now affects the grading of the pipe, and you end up now have to change the entire sewer system. So the fix it uppers, yes, they can be good. Some people luck out. They don't have the problems. Now, I'm not saying that the fix it uppers is a bad choice. These are only tips. All right, just trying to be proactive. All right, so you can have this in your head to say, okay, well, hey, look, perhaps I should have this person intervene or this person check it out. All right, these are only tips. I mean, go for it. It's a good way to make a move. You could save some funds, but at the same time, let's just be smart about it. Just be smart. I suggest to be smart about it, and approach it head on and say, hey, well, how much you're going to charge me to do this inspection? Once again, the electrical. Okay, many homes to date, I've someone one just a few weeks ago. Many homes still have the old system in place. All right, the old electrical system with the fuse, the time fuse, what been around from that time. All right, they are outdated. I mean, they're still there. I mean, they still sell fuse and everything, but they're outdated, so they need to be upgraded. There again, you want to ensure that, hey, you're getting this home for little or nothing. What it's going to cost, what it's going to be in your budget. All right, for you to replace the entire system, upgrade it. Okay. There again, you need electrical. Roof inspection. You want to have a look at that to see, what's involved there. All right. Your pest control. Walk around, have someone, have a look at it to see if you might need to do some spraying, for roaches and rodents and stuff like that. Sewer, the pool, if you have a pool, there again, have a pool inspection done. All right. So, you can save you some money. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, if you would like to have some of those information, I have it all. It's free of charge. There's no charge for it. I can send it to you via WhatsApp or email. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of the show, I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time out to tune into the show this evening, and have a great and safe evening. Good night, everyone.
Due to the high cost of remodeling an existing home and building a new one, many clients are asking whether it's better to renovate their home or build a new house. Well, we have the solution for you. Attend Emmett White's Self-Build Homeowners Educational Seminar and learn how you can save from 25 to 45% off your new home construction or renovation costs. It's an event you don't want to miss. Follow our Facebook page at Emmett White 242 for updates on when the event will be held in Abaco, Freeport, Grand Bahama, Exuma, Eleuthera, and Nassau. Make plans to attend now so you can be informed on how to save thousands of dollars when remodeling or building your new dream home. Stone Oak Bahamas Developers and the Bahamas Public Service Union presents Homeowners and Builders Expo. This event is for first-time homeowners and those who are renovating. Come on out and meet banks, insurance companies, real estate agents, contractors, and more. It all goes down Saturday, March 30th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the BPSU Hall, East Street South. There'll be lots of giveaways and discounts the entire day. For more information, call or WhatsApp 815-8818. Admission is free. Don't miss it.
Are you planning on building or remodeling your home, but afraid of being ripped off, overcharged, or receiving substandard workmanship? Then you don't want to miss the Emmett White First-Time Homeowner Educational Seminars. Don't become a victim. Attend the event, ask questions, get answers, and learn from one of the industry experts. Follow our Facebook page at Emmett White 242 for updates on when the event will be held in Abaco, Freeport, Grand Bahama, Exuma, Eleuthera, and Nassau.
Due to the high cost of remodeling an existing home and building a new one, many clients are asking whether it's better to renovate their home or build a new house. Well, we have the solution for you. Attend Emmett White's Self-Build Homeowners Educational Seminar and learn how you can save from 25 to 45% off your new home construction or renovation costs. It's an event you don't want to miss. Follow our Facebook page at Emmett White 242 for updates on when the event will be held in Abaco, Freeport, Grand Bahama, Exuma, Eleuthera, and Nassau. Make plans to attend now so you can be informed on how to save thousands of dollars when remodeling or building your new dream home.